They hide the truth beneath a mountain of lies. But the fire inside us can't be buried forever.
They pile up falsehoods, burying our cries. One by one we dig where the evidence lies. Nesters in the shadows, piecing every clue, shining light on secrets that they never wanted you to view. Smoke and mirrors crumble under our gaze. We won't back down, we're done with their maze. The ops unravel, media feeding gloom. Kids didn't deserve to die, their story needs room. No proof, no confession, plea deals won't suffice. We're taking back possession of the one thing that's right. Truth phoenix rising from the ashes of their lies. Fireballs ready to drop across the looted skies. We'll lift the veil, ignite the spark of justice bright. Stand case by case and bring the truth to light. Whispers in the corridors, they thought we'd look away, but every hidden thread unravels when we slay their charade. No more spin from their headlines, no more silence cries. We're the voice of those forgotten, watch their empire collide. Truth's a phoenix feather rising in the flames. We'll trace every lead, break their iron chains. Oh, break their iron chains. Phoenix rising, watch us light the sky. Truth the weapon they can never justify. One case at a time, we claim what's ours to fight. Rising up together, set the world alight.
This is just the beginning. The Phoenix will never stop rising.
Innocent. Bryan has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Bryan's innocent. Your Honor, Bryan is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Good Friday morning. I am so thrilled to be here. It is Friday, October 17th, and we are halfway to the first major, massive kickoff to the holidays before Thanksgiving and Christmas. And that, I mean, I don't really celebrate Halloween. I like, to throw stuff in the kids' bags when they show up at the house and stuff like that. But we are definitely not like, there was a time, I will admit, we had a massive, okay, I'll tell you the story. You guys want to hear a story? It's a true story. And Lulu Bell, whoop, whoop, girl, you just became a new subscriber. Welcome in. I'm a channel member. I'm so happy to see you. You have been an OG and just a beautiful addition to our nest here. So for all of you nesters out here, get in the nest. I'm going to welcome you in. Hey, Lola. Hi, Phoenix. To all faithful nesters. Good to have another live. Absolutely. I figured I'd throw this one in here. It's going to be a little bit different, but I will do the Idaho 4 later on today with all my new findings and my past findings. So no coffee before talkie. Welcome in. It's Friday. Whoop, whoop. Hope you're all are having a great day so far. Lily, welcome to the nest. Donna Rosa. Hello, lovely people. Welcome to the nest. Misinformation. Happy Friday to everyone. Amaya, welcome in. Hi, Phoenix. Welcome in. Get in the nest. Get in the nest. Eyes wide open. Victoria, hello. Karen, hello, girl. Rebecca, yes, story time. Okay, you're going to get a story time. Here we go. So, COVID. Right before the vid actually popped off in April of 2020, my husband got sick in December of 2019, and we knew something wasn't right. I knew something wasn't right because if you know anything about me, yes, I am a retired naturopathic, classically trained naturopathic doctor. So when yes, I was nursing when I went to college, and that just didn't sit well with me. So I left that, went back to my career in computers and telecommunications, and then decided, you know what, instead of nursing, I will become a naturopathic doctor. And I did, and I loved it. But when my husband and then my daughter got sick in December of 2019, I knew something was not right. And I thought to myself, it wasn't until the following year that it just was full blown by April. So, April, they considered it a pandemic. It started in the US, but it started way before that, folks. It started way before the April alarm went off. And something wasn't right. So, what happened is my husband had this episode in the mid-December, and he was hospitalized. And so it was kind of like a switch for me to start enjoying life, to start doing the things that we loved. And I'm sure a lot of you had went through the pandemic sick, recovered, and started thinking differently. And if you did, good for you, because I had already been thinking this way. Well, some of my colleagues were in other countries and basically told me what they were seeing. And in my group of friends and colleagues, we had discovered, coronavirus is transmissible through animals. And all of a sudden, it became this big, outlandish pandemic, in my humble opinion. And when I got it, and it knocked me on my butt for almost 2 months, my daughter got it, knocked her on her butt. I was already immunocompromised, by the way. And it felt like I had died, and I slept for 4 days. So, we survived through April into the summer, and then came the holidays. October rolled around, and I said, since everyone is feeling really good, and we were in a position, and things were really funny around our area, I said, you know what? They have this COVID thing out. Kids aren't going to be able to celebrate Halloween like they used to. Why don't we do something and give back to the community? And so my husband and I, we seriously, no joke, we lived in a roundabout. And if you know what a roundabout is, you have to go through a circle to get to the house. And then it's like a cul-de-sac, but we were the only house in the middle of the roundabout. And so he said, let's do a Halloween house, a haunted house. And I said, okay, we'll plan it out, and we'll put everything around the house so people can just drive around our house. And I told my husband, how are we going to pass out candy and make parents comfortable with this 6-foot rule? And so he said, well, you figure it out. So I had to figure it out. And what I did was I came up with the process, I came up with the thought, and my husband is the one that built it and carried it out. We had a COVID 6-foot, I think it was longer than 6 foot, candy drop. So if they came to our house and we were putting on a whole show outside, lights and camera and, smoke and all this graveyard, it was absolutely amazing. And I'll have to dig out an old picture and I'll show you it. And I've got a video of these trucks, these families put their kids in the back of their trucks, and they came around to our house, and I dropped candy through the candy chute that we made, and it went right into the back of their trucks and their cars. And mind you, we went all out. We were passing out big size candy bars. So word on the street was that we had the first drive-through Halloween haunted house, and people were lining up around the blocks trying to get in to see this haunted Halloween house that we just spectacular. To see the happiness on these kids' face just was so amazing. But what we did is, a lot of people wanted a donation pail for the whole, haunted house thing. And I felt like the best thing that we could do was to give back to the Cancer Society. So that's exactly what we did. I made a donation after all the donations that we collected, and it was just a wonderful time of the year. And then obviously leading into November, Thanksgiving, and December, Christmas. So if you are new to my stream, I usually start it off with something like this, an icebreaker. But, you know, today this stream is going to be about this story in the headlines. And if you haven't seen what's going on with the Tyler Robinson storyline, it lines up and there's certain similarities with the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. Now, if you are contrarian thinkers, you'll get this stream. If not, it might not be the stream for you, but I want to get into it. For those who have not heard about the Tyler Robinson case or even the details of the Bryan Kohberger case, because remember, mainstream media is telling us one thing. Well, we're reading the court docs and we're seeing another thing. And many of us question, is this real? Is this a psyop, a cover-up, or is just some political story they're pushing down our throats? And it's okay to think differently, because I'm going to tell you some things that you may not understand or you thought about and couldn't put it in the context of this is actually real. So logically, you want to go and you want to see the court documents since a state has said they're charging an individual. Now, here are 10 questions that I wrote out that's really important in regards to exploring an event or a narrative, or even, get this, a movement that could be a psyop. Yes, folks, a movement in political, legal context can be a psyop. A movement can be. And who benefits this most? Who benefits? Who makes out politically, financially, or socially? And that is from the public believing this story or reacting a certain way. So who benefits most? Yes, political movements are psyops. They can be, yes. And here's the deal. I'm going to ask you a question. What emotional response is being triggered? Fear, outrage, guilt, or confusion? And who gains from that reaction? Yep, you're absolutely right. They get co-opted. And here's what scares me the most about this. People today aren't asking the unthinkable. They're not asking the questions. They're not asking for the real answers. Why is this happening? When did this happen? You know, and the first thing I go back to is 100% logic. Let me see the documents. Let me see what's going on. Let me see if I can fact check some of this, because those fact checkers out there, they're not really fact checkers. They are narrative pushers. And they want you to believe what they want you to believe. And they're going to bury the people that are telling you the truth. Guys, I've always been this way. This is nothing new. All I do now is have social media. That's it. I used to go down to the courthouse. I used to ask for records. If I was somewhere where an incident happened, I'd go to the local courthouse and ask for receipts, right? I'd go talk to the local people. This is nothing new. All I'm doing is accessing information from multiple sources, and it's very easy to get to the bottom of the truth. So when you see the information consistent, if the information is consistent, or does the official narrative shift over time to fit new circumstances or deflect blame, then that's usually a psyop. Who controls the messaging? What are the same media outlets, the same influencers? Yes. Yes, Miss Jess. Yes, yes, yes. Or institutions repeating identical talking points. Okay, you have to think about who's sharing this critical information. Obviously, there are obvious distractions, right? There are. And that's typically, you have to ask yourself, does the story conveniently pull public attention away from other crises or scandal or policy changes? And yes, you can actually line up some dates and be like, what the heck was happening on this date or around that date? And you can pick it apart. And when I say pick it apart, look at it with a magnifying glass to see if it passes the smell test. And confusion is the main driver, other than fear, outrage, confusion. And does the timing align? Because in the Idaho 4, I had been screaming this for years. During the Idaho 4, there was an election that just took place. Yes, there was, folks. This happened on November 12th. And what day was the actual election in Latah County? And when you start looking at the bigger picture to this, let me get the exact date. 2022, the exact date of the Latah was November 5th, I believe. November 5th. Hold on a minute. Election results. Pullman Radio did an overview of this and basically say Latah County election results: Republicans win majority of the board. Commissioners, Sheriff Richie Siles, re-elected. And they never make, I mean, it's not hidden. It's right in front of us. It's just, are you astute enough to go and look what was happening around that time frame? And guess what happened during that election? Latah County Second Court, District Court Magistrate Judge Megan Marshall was retained by voters. A sewer bond was passed. School levy was passed. Julietta County Councilwoman Judy Fuller was recalled by voters. The sheriff was reelected. Retired Moscow Police James Fry finished second. He didn't win. I mean, you have to think about what elections were happening. Now, that was the 2024. That was the 2024. But if you go back in history, you'll see the history of the election 2022, and you'll be like, what in the world was going on? So here was, oh, I just lost my screen. Give me 1 second. Here was the result in 2022 at the time of this atrocity. So there was Julie Fry. She became the clerk of district court. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. She became clerk of district court. Julie Fry. She won. Connection. Yes. And you have to go down the list to see who is connected to who. And then you'll begin to see the bigger picture of what was going on in that town. Now, will it paint the whole picture? No, but it'll give you a specific indication of what may have been going on in Moscow, Idaho during the Idaho 4. And a lot of people will be like, oh, they're connected. They may or may not be connected, but I will tell you, there was a word that somebody put in the chat, and it was, I can't remember the name now. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Because I don't want to say it wrong. And someone told me to think about it like Chicago. And it is, here we go. Hold on. I always say hoodwinked. That's my word. I love using that word because of the movie Hoodwinked. Okay. But there is a word, and I wrote it down, and it basically means Hold on. I must have deleted it from when I looked it up. Oh, give me 1 second. Here we go. Chicanery. Okay, it's Chicanery. And does anybody know what that word means? I mean, it's another word for hoodwinked, right? But this word means the use of trickery to achieve a political, financial, or legal purpose. There is a new word for everyone. Chicanery. I know it sounds funny, but it has a specific political reason. And when I say that, you have to look at, great word, I would say corrupted. Yeah, corruption of sorts. Yeah. But if you look at the definition or the similarity is trickery, deception, deceit, dishonesty, unhandedness, fraud, sharp practice, swindling, cheating, duping, hoodwinking, a craft, monkey business, funky business, hanky panky, shenanigans, management, monkey shines. It's a French word. And if you want to use the slang word, it would be either deception or trickery. And that's what I see here in a lot of these similar stories. And it makes sense when you look at the bigger picture and you see all the players, some of the players, which I had just shown you. And one of the fact checkers in this new case with, let me grab this screen, in the Tyler Robinson, is we start seeing this unfold, right? We heard about the narrative. I'm sure in a couple of weeks when they get into court on the 30th, he's going to plead not guilty or stand silent. Charcuterie. Yeah, no, I can say charcuterie. Yeah, I'm not a walking thesaurus. I'm just saying. You know, when we fact check, did Tyler Robinson's father company pave the area where Charlie Cook was shot? What in the world are people coming up with, right? I've never ever heard. And is it just a tagline to get the reader to read the article or the publication? I mean, you have to ask yourself, right? And I'm thinking to myself, rumors been going around about the father of Tylen Robinson, the 22-year-old Utah man accused of killing Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. According to the social media chatter, Robinson's family supposedly owns a construction company that paved over the area where Kirk was shot dead in the Utah Valley. Well, I'm just going to say UVU on September 10th. What a load of BS are people now. These wild stories are making their rounds, just like in the Idaho 4, right? I mean, what the F are they doing? Robinson's dad owns a construction company. This was put on X, guys. And I don't know where they got this information, but they're very careful. It is suspicious, but they're very careful with their wording because if true question mark is not a statement, it's asking a question. And when you ask a question like that, it's not defamation, it's not slander, because you are asking a question. You are digging to find the truth. But if you make a big bold statement without a question mark, that could be slander. And they're very careful. Project Constitution is a validated following of some, I don't know who they are, what they stand for, but I saw this and I thought they are really reaching. Is this real? Is this true? And then they're saying that they ripped up a bloody grass where he was shot, slapped down concrete, muddied the tunnel roof behind it. No one knows who they are. Official silence. Sus. And this screams to me the person who's writing this narrative may be in on the narrative. They may be in on what's going on behind the scenes to push it out there. Even if Charlie Cook is still alive, if Kirk is still alive, they did this for a reason. If he's passed and deceased, then he's gone for a reason. But when they came in and started cementing all this in, that was really suspicious. Very interesting. So when we talk about what does a psyop look like, what does a cover-up look like, I start seeing both. I don't know about you, but both of my radars went off to this could be a possible cover-up and a psyop. And I really don't think that he was unalived. I think it was more smoke and mirrors, and they had this planned for a reason. Just like Idaho 4, they had this plan for a reason. Now, they'll never come to us and say what the reason is because they're probably having ongoing investigations. But some of the things that were just so outrageous to many is once they arrested this guy, and I'm sure you're going to recognize who it is when I say, hold on. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen real quick because sometimes my live turns into a live dig because it just came to my thought process. This guy, okay? George Zinn. I'm sure you've heard of him. Come on, machine work. George Zinn, the guy who at the event with Charlie Kirk stands up and says, I have something about the right to remain silent. He points and then gets everybody interested in his way. But then they announce just days after that the guy who did this was arrested. The guy that we saw on the ground was arrested. And now he falsely claimed to shoot him. And now he's hit with child porn cases. Okay? This guy, he's been well known in this area, this psyop cover-up type of crap going on in our country. Yes, he was at other events, absolutely. But here's the deal, guys. A lot of people didn't look at this and say, oh man, that guy who faked this and said he was the shooter, and now he's arrested for graphic phone on his phone. Now we know, guys, in the hive, in the nest, we know that this guy is connected to other people. There's no way that Tyler Robinson could have took that shot with a Mauser, there's just no way. Charlie's head would be blown freaking off. Okay? We know this. I'm not stating anything we don't know. But this guy, Tyler, and other people had to have been involved. And what did they get George Zinn on? Exploitation material. If you haven't seen my live from yesterday about college girls, you need to go and watch it. Olivia Goncalves said that Bryan Kohberger in court testimony was a pedo. And two of the special investigation district attorneys, associated attorneys, they brought in deal with ICAC, that is Internet Crimes Against Children in Idaho. So what was really going behind the scenes in the Idaho 4? Was it coercion, manipulation, trafficking, college girls, services, businesses serving the college allegedly? What exactly was it? Because we're starting to see the patterns, to see the patterns, and that's what I look for. Here, obviously, they arrest somebody in the crowd that had no connection to all this, but may have a connection, and they arrest him for child porn. Right? And we also know that if you go to the DEA and you go to the OCDTEF, you will see arrest in that area of Utah. They go and the DEA produces reports for every single area. The Rocky Mountain Division of the DEA out there is the coverage. You can go right to their website. You can see David Alski is a special agent in charge out there. He's in charge of Colorado, Montana, Wyoming, and Utah. And you can see the press releases, guys. You can go out there yourselves and look at the press releases to see what is going on in that area. We've got Denver. We've got Colorado DEA. There's another Denver. We've got a Colorado Springs, another Denver, Salt Lake City, Utah, Denver. There's all kinds of stuff going on out there, just like in Idaho, right? Fentanyl continues to be the largest number of cases between 18 and 45. They seized nationally 77 million fentanyl pills. But how weird was it that Charlie Kirk's main job, as soon as election night was over, and he made a big announcement and a big speech, I shared that before, that now he goes on tour at colleges where all of a sudden he gets assassinated and people start to cave in that area. Arrests are starting to be made. Okay? You can see the patterns evolve. You can see it. If you only want to see it. Because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. I have people that tell me all the time, I can't believe this was operating in my neighborhood. If you are a good person, if you are a good citizen, if you are a good American, you get up, you go to work, you raise your family, you go home, you make them dinner, you spend quality time with your family, not on cell phones or TVs, but you play Scrabble and games. I miss those days with my kids. Now it seems like everybody's on their phone where we're all trying to watch a movie, and I'm guilty of it too, folks. I'm guilty of it too. But if you are a good person, you don't know what's happening around you. Have you ever watched the news and saw a house blown to shred in a fancy, nice neighborhood and think, how the hell did that happen? And then they tell you it was a gas explosion. Well, you go to the DEA page and you find out that there was a meth lab that was blown up in the area, and you put two and two together and you're like, oh shit, that was in my freaking neighborhood. There are good people around bad people. The bad people aren't going to walk up and say, hey, I'm a meth dealer. I'm the largest trafficker in your area. I'm like providing a service to a college campus. And if you're looking for a cute little college girl to hang out with, for coffee, or let's say for a babysitting job for a couple hours on Friday nights, here's my card. No, they're not going to walk up to you and say that. All this stuff is on a need-to-know basis. It's referral business, and it's keep it hush-hush, because if you are a snitch, you're going to get stitches. All alleged, all in my humble opinion. I'm just saying it could possibly happen anywhere in our country. And honestly, I guarantee you, probably a good 60% of people don't know who their neighbors are. Probably a good 60 to 70% do not know, and I mean know who their neighbors are. Maybe a hi and a bye. Hey, my name's Sally. My name's, John. They don't know. Hey, I noticed that you wear a business suit. Do you work at the business locally? I mean, this guy can be an informant, an FBI agent, or whatever. Put in your neighborhood. right? I'm curious. I go to my town council events. I want to know the people in my area that have businesses. I want to support those local businesses. But you know what? I am that person that checks out certain people because I get a gut instinct. Now, that doesn't mean I check out everybody. I just get that feeling that something is not right with this individual, and I will find out what's right or wrong. This is a pandemic, and this is the silent killer that our politicians have been talking about for years, but you probably didn't see what they saw. You probably didn't have the information they had. See, because our biggest threat to our national security is the internet. It is these apps. It is streaming networks. And when it's in the wrong hands, it could be used for nefarious reasons. But in the right hands, it could be used to educate, teach, and allow people to think for themselves. Yes, Donald, absolutely, I have. Yep, Chef Dizzy. Yep. Some people will be in on the cover-up psyop. Some people won't. It won't make sense because you'll think, are they telling me the truth or are they telling me what the narrative is? And I want to go through something very, very quickly. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I was going to do it this afternoon. But all you faithful people here that have been following the Idaho 4, there are new body cams out. I don't know if you've seen them. But Gunderson's body cam is out there now. And I watched it, and I watched the behaviors, and I watched how he was knocking on people's doors, asking questions, and I thought to myself, why is he asking certain questions? And I know it's part of the technique, but let's review it together. And it's on LTL. Let me just bring it up. I'll 17 minutes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward it so that we could watch a little bit of it, and I'll go 1.5 speed. And this is the strangest, yes, Daily Twin Flame. The behavior is so odd. And let's watch it real quick, and then I'll do some commentary. It's kind of silent in the beginning until he knocks on the door, and then his body cam records. So he must have it on silent. The conversation on the phone he has is very odd. Watch. It's going to be loud, so if you have headphones on. Okay, now mind you, right here in this area is the 1122 King Road. This is the house right here. This neighbor is probably the closest on the 3rd floor, which would be where Maddie and Kaylee were on this side of the house. Dylan is on the 2nd floor here. So this neighbor would be the closest to the house.
Hi there.
Hello.
I'm Sergeant Gunderson with the Moscow Police Department.
Okay.
We're investigating a crime next door.
Yeah, I got a van alert.
Okay. Did you happen to hear anything last night at all?
It's actually quieter than usual for Saturday night. So,
Okay.
cool.
It was quieter than usual. Did this happen when they say this happened? And that has always been the biggest thing. Did this happen where they said it happened?
Nothing.
Usually a party over there. But it was kind of quiet last night. Usually
Okay.
it didn't.
Okay, nothing out of the ordinary?
No. Was there anything last night?
Yells to the guy in the background. Did you hear anything? Nothing in the out of the ordinary. Nothing out of the ordinary. They didn't hear anything.
What time is about did that all happen?
I left for work around
You stay.
10 to, actually, what was it? Somewhere between 10:20 and 10:30.
Last night.
Could you take the door? I think something's burning the stove. It's not.
Did you guys what time did you get off work?
7:30 usually, but I got off a bit earlier, so like 7:15ish.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just clue you in on something. Gunderson is asking a specific question. If anyone left around a certain time and if they came back at a certain time. And they answer these questions not knowing what they're answering because he's looking for something specific. I get it. I get what he's looking for. But this guy says he leaves at 10:30 and he comes back a little bit earlier around 6. Now, if there had been any cleanup going on, if there'd been any painting going on, anything like really nefarious going on during the hours that, the roommates were sleeping but weren't really sleeping, they would be able to gather some witnesses to say, well, I drove by around 6 and there was a lot of people coming in and out of there and maybe a paint truck or... That's what I want you to listen in for.
Okay, you didn't notice anything peculiar on the way home or anything?
I took the dog out this morning, and the only thing that I noticed was there was a bottle, cork for wine, and 2 pairs of panties in the street.
The neighbor says exactly what I said that I noticed months ago, but I held it because I'm still finishing my digital book. He noticed there were 2 panties in the street. Did you hear this, man? This video just came out. Hold on a minute. 1 day ago. That backs up exactly what I was saying in the freaking cop cams. In the actual body cam that was released over a month and a half ago. Listen.
The only thing that I noticed was there was a bottle, a cork for wine, and 2 pairs of panties in the street.
Okay.
It. So.
Do you think that Gunderson ever wrote anything in the report about panties in the street or a cork? This guy said a bottle, a champagne cork, and panties in the street. He took his dog for a freaking walk in the morning and noticed this, and everyone ignored this.
There was a bottle, a cork for wine, and 2 pairs of panties in the street. That's
Okay.
it. So.
His response was, whoa.
Cork for wine, and 2 pairs of panties in the street. That's
Okay.
it. So. I think there was less cars parked there at the house over there.
Less cars parked there.
But
Okay.
it's usually packed.
Okay.
It's usually packed.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Can I chat with you for a second?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hi there. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Are you kind of aware of what's going on in the
I am.
neighborhood?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So we're just going door to door, seeing if anybody heard anything or saw anything last night.
I have not.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Anything peculiar last night at all overnight?
Not that I was aware of. I got home. I work at U of I for athletics. I got home from the game at like 10 p.m. last night, and
So this guy works with the U of I athletics. Does he work with Emily? Did he work with Emily that night?
I just literally watched some TV and went to bed at like midnight.
Okay. What time did you get up?
What time did I get up? Like 7 o'clock this morning.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Anybody else live here with you?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
Thank you.
Just me and her.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Take care.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. No worries.
Cute little door wreath, by the way. And notice he doesn't leave a card on the doors. Typically in an investigation, if you don't answer your door, they will leave a card on the door with a backside case number and their name if they want you to get in touch with. Noticing they're blurring out the number on the door also.
Hello. Hi there. How you doing? Good. What's your name? Nice to meet you.
Dude walks out with a USMC shirt on. What type of sheet did they say they found? A K-bar, USMC on the back of it.
I'm Sergeant Gunderson, Police Department. Well, we're just conducting an investigation in the area, and was curious if you heard anything overnight that was peculiar or out of the ordinary or anything like that.
I know I was up till about 2 a.m.
I'm sorry?
I know I was up till about 2 a.m., but I don't recall hearing anything. I guess I did have my headphones and I was listening to music pretty late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, have a good rest of your night.
You too.
Hi there. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, so we're conducting an investigation in the area. You guys are probably already aware.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear anything out of the ordinary last night?
Did not.
Nothing.
No gunshots or anything like that.
The guy says no gunshots or anything like that.
Freaking me. I don't know. Somebody said to somebody who I heard from that that it was gunshots, but that's I'm kind of weirded out because I didn't hear anything about it.
Okay. Where did you hear that from?
Oh, my sister. Yeah, I don't know. She's been talking to people and she I think got the vandal alert, and so she texted me just to make sure.
Okay.
So they weren't shot with a gun.
But didn't hear anything out of the ordinary? Okay. Thanks, guys.
Are we blocked off in here right now?
I'm more to believe an innocent bystander than the police, or, they've never said that these guys were shot. The authorities have never said that these guys were shot. The guy says we've never heard any gunshots. My sister got a message from another person saying that there was a gun used, that there was somebody shot, but they never heard gunshots. And the official narrative is there was never a gunshot used.
You guys are welcome to leave and come back. Just there's going to be
back with my car because I left earlier and I saw that there was like a cop car blocking that.
Yeah, we're just trying to limit the amount of
down there.
Okay, yeah, you're able to leave and come back.
Now, if these guys heard gunshots, don't you think that they would have called 911? If they are on the opposite end of this building, and they heard gunshots, they would have called. Listen to what he said again.
Got the vandal alert, and so she.
Thank you, Daily Twin Flame. I appreciate you so much. That will go to me as a tip because I've put a lot of work into this. Thank you.
Hi there. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, so we're conducting.
I'm going to put this on normal speed just for this conversation so you guys can listen.
An investigation in the area. You guys are probably already aware.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear anything out of the ordinary last night?
Did not.
Nothing.
No
gunshots or anything.
He says, we didn't hear anything. No gunshots.
Freaking me. I don't know. Somebody said to somebody who I heard from that that it was gunshots, but I'm kind of weirded out because I didn't hear anything about it.
Okay, that's a good point, Jojo. What if they had a silencer? Okay, no pun intended, but what if it was a potato at the end of the gun? Is that possible?
Okay. Where did you hear that from?
Oh, my sister. Yeah, I don't know. She's been talking to people and she's, I think, got the vandal alert, and so she texted me just to make sure.
Okay. But didn't hear anything out of the ordinary? Okay. Thanks, guys.
Are we blocked off in here right now?
You guys are welcome to leave and come back. Just there's
I was
going to
coming
be.
back with my car because I left earlier. And
Yeah, you guys are welcome to come and go and run over the panties in the street.
I saw that there was like a cop car blocking the.
Yeah, we're just trying to limit the amount of.
Down there.
Okay, yeah, you're able to leave and come back. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi there.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hey, Sergeant Gunderson with the police department. What's your name? Okay. Nice to meet you. You probably got the vandal alert.
Yeah.
You probably understand what we're doing. You hear anything odd last night, early this morning?
No, I was actually curious as to what was going on today because I wasn't sure. So I wasn't here all night, so I personally didn't hear anything that was going on. So
Okay. What time did you go to bed?
probably around, I'd say 1.
This guy sounds a little nervous to me. Is it just me? He sounds a little unsure what to say.
Okay. What time did you wake up?
I think it was probably around like 8 this morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
All these kids know they've got a vandal alert already. They know that 4 people were possibly unalived right there next to them. They had a heads up. They sent out a vandal alert. Why? Why would they have done this? Was it a message to all the college not to talk about it? All the people in Greek life not to talk about it? Not to cooperate? I mean, some of these people do look very nervous. And most of them got the alert. But the people who didn't get the alert seem to be more open.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, good.
Good. Shane with the police department. How are you doing?
Okay, how are you?
Okay, what's your name? Nice to meet you, John. So you go to the U of I?
I don't.
Okay. Well, we are conducting an investigation in the area.
I heard.
Okay. Did you hear anything out of the ordinary last night?
I did not hear anything last night.
Okay. Were you here all night last night?
I was. Oh,
Okay.
Fiddlesticks.
And poor Fiddlesticks got out.
Hey. Sorry, I should have shut the door.
No, no worries.
Do you mind if I talk to you outside?
Yeah, no, that's
or
fine.
I can throw her in an office or
Yeah,
something?
no, you're fine.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything last night. I was home all night. Nothing out of the ordinary for me.
Okay, what time did you go to bed?
I think I went to bed at maybe 11.
Okay, what time did you wake up?
Woke up at 9
Okay.
today.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Take care.
Hello?
Hi there. How you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Hey, good. Sorry to bug you.
What's up?
Do you go to the U of I?
No?
Okay. Well, we're conducting an investigation in the area.
Okay.
I was just curious if you heard anything overnight or
No?
anything like that.
No?
Were you here all night last night?
No, I worked late. Got here late. Went to bed.
Okay. What time did you get off work?
Like last night, got off work around 12. Stayed there till maybe like 1.
Okay.
Got home around 1:32.
Okay. You went to bed after that, or okay? What time did you wake up?
Isn't that a cute little kitty, y'all? Isn't that a sweet little kitty? How precious. Sweet kitty. And look at the guy's hands. I don't see any scratches or scars or stabs or anything like that. And I will tell you, I noticed something from a previous interview that this, my friends, is actually Ian Harsh. Look at his little kitty in the background. Yep, Chef Dizzy himself.
News, and it was like 4 people stabbed to death. It's like right across the street. It was like, holy shit.
Is that his little kitty?
Wow. Yeah. When did you hear about it? Was it those knocks on the door? You woke up the next
The little
day?
kitty.
Did these knocks on your apartment door
well, I
wake
was
up? How did you
already.
learn about it?
Oh,
was-
what a pretty kitty. Is that the same cat, y'all? I had to ask your opinion because I was thinking it looks like the same exact cat.
A couple hours ago.
What's that?
A couple hours ago.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
Now, did you guys catch on? I was going to wait to tell you who I thought it was because I wanted you to see the cat first. Listen to what he tells the officer. It's not what he told the interview he went on.
Hey, good. Sorry to bug you.
What's up?
Do you go to U of I?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Well, we're conducting an investigation in the area.
Okay.
I was just curious if you heard anything overnight or
No.
anything like that.
No.
Were you here all night last night?
No. I worked late. Got here late. Went to bed.
Okay. What time did you get off work?
Like last night, got off work around 12. Stayed there till maybe like 1.
Okay.
That's his voice.
1:32.
Okay. You went to bed after that, or okay? What time did you wake up?
A couple hours ago.
What's that?
A couple hours ago.
Okay.
The way he stops and pauses when he talks, that's him.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, you too.
And he left his little kitty out there. Aw, that sweet kitty.
Hey there, Moscow Police Department.
Hi.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
What's your name, sir?
He's got a donor t-shirt on.
Apologize. I got a phone call. Make sure it's not one I need to answer.
Hands in his pockets.
Just a second. I apologize. I'll knock on your door here in just a second.
Didn't say a word until the cops.
Hey, what's up? We're doing okay at the moment. We're doing some canvassing right now. So.
Okay.
Um,
Tyson told us to cover calls, but there's like some control guys here now covering calls, so.
well, if you want to call Eric and Corbin, might need a spell doing they're doing the crime scene log stuff. So just security, they might need a break.
Okay, I'll call them.
All right, thanks, man. Hey guys, which apartment do you guys live in?
Right here.
Okay, I'll come chat with you in just a second, okay?
Okay.
Thanks. Sorry about that. Are you a student at U of I?
Not currently.
Okay,
I'm
well,
hoping to be next semester.
okay, so we're conducting an investigation next door. Just curious if you heard anything last night, saw anything peculiar last night, anything like that.
I was working pretty late.
What time did you work?
I got home at like midnight,
Okay.
15ish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty dark. You know, usually there's music and stuff, but
Sure.
it's pretty dark, pretty quiet. I didn't see anything crazy.
Okay. And then what time did you go to bed?
Like 3:30ish.
Okay. Did you hear anything odd before going to bed or anything like that?
Not that I'm remembering.
Okay. What time did you wake up?
11:15, 11:30.
Okay. And perfect. I appreciate it, man.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
I'm sure he got the vandal alert. Allegedly. Now, I don't know why they kept blocking out the end of this railing on this bicycle. If you noticed, if you go back, I don't know why they kept blocking it out.
Hi there. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Now, keep in mind, again, this is the third floor. This is the closest to the house, the last apartment closest to this house. I don't know what side their living room or their bedroom is on, but it looks like this is the kitchen right here. This is the closest on the third floor to the 1122 King Road right here.
You guys are students?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you got the vandal alert. So we're just conducting a neighborhood canvass, just making sure if anybody heard anything, saw anything last night at all.
I did not. I got back from the corner club at 11:30 with my boyfriend, and we didn't hear anything.
Okay. What time did you guys go to bed?
Notice what they said specifically, and they both are U of I students.
Last night at all?
I did not. I got back from the corner club at 11:30
She was at the corner club
with my boyfriend, and we didn't hear anything.
Okay.
and we got back at 11:30 and we didn't hear anything.
What time did you guys go to bed right after that? Or
12:30.
I'm not the boyfriend. I was in Spokane.
That's the people in the ISP document that he was in Spokane, but that is not her boyfriend. I wonder who her boyfriend is.
Okay. And then what time did you wake up?
My boyfriend went hunting at...
The boyfriend went hunting.
5 in the morning, so he left around then.
Okay.
And so he's on his way back now.
What's your boyfriend's name? If I give you my card, can you call when he gets...
yeah, he's almost... So
okay. Yeah, I'll just be hanging around, so...
I just talked to him on the phone and he didn't hear anything either. But
I talked to him on the phone. He didn't hear anything. They want to talk to him, sweetheart.
Okay. Well, I'll give you my card anyway then. If that's the case, you know, if he... I'll just have him give me a call anyway. So I talked to him. Best number to get directly to me is this cell phone number down here. Shane Gunderson. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Little blonde girl. She's got this other guy that was in Spokane that just popped in. Right? Y'all are funny. All right. So he goes to
Did
talk
you
to these
guys hear
last
anything
kids.
last night?
No.
Okay.
Can you tell us what happened?
We're still trying to kind of piece everything together, so I don't have a lot of information, and I couldn't tell you if I did have enough. So, you guys didn't hear anything last night at all. Do you guys have? Do you guys have a neighbor here?
we don't know them.
Okay.
Or actually, I think someone does live there, but we don't know them.
Okay.
We've never spoken to them.
What time did you guys get home last night?
We were home the entire day.
Okay.
Oh, last night?
So that's true. At about 9 o'clock, we went out for snacks and we came back at about 10 o'clock.
Okay. You guys go to bed after that?
Yes.
What time did you wake up?
8:30.
Okay.
8:30.
They look at each other and they ask different answers.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it, guys. That's all I got for you. So, thank you.
No, I don't think that's the grub truck guy. Hands in his pockets. Yep. And they were very quiet. So after looking at that, and I wanted to just preface this, that when you look at something like this, you start pointing out certain things. Who's in control of this operation? What if this is a cover-up? Is it a psyop? Is it all in one? Is it a case within a case within a case within a case? Yes. I humbly believe, in my humble opinion, that's exactly what is happening now, that we will see moving forward in the Tyler Robinson case. When you go to Justice for All, our beautiful Nestor website, I will say, you can go and you can look at the actual affidavit for Tyler Robinson. It's been there for a little while. You can go and download it. Okay. You can go and read it. And it looks like a POS, a piece of sheet. And when I say that, you read this affidavit and you're thinking, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. We're watching the videos and we're watching everything else. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy couldn't even have a gun like that, do what they said he did with the rifle, carry it in his pants, in his leg, and limp along the route. There's no possible way. And we still don't see the charger leaving the area. And then they say it was hidden in the woods. And all these things start to piece together of what's happening around this case. the man getting caught with the kiddie porn, and you've got all this other stuff going on. Now, nobody did, from what I understand. It wasn't even in evidence. It was not even in evidence. So when you start looking at this, you start thinking, okay, the media attention that it's gotten with the Tyler Robinson case, the media that the Idaho 4 got, and all the misinformation that came with the Idaho 4, we didn't learn until they started unreleasing the documents. I know, right? Who's this guy that went hunting? They never talk about him. Did they even follow up? Did they even want to follow up? Why? Why didn't they follow up? And those are the questions we have to start asking ourselves, because there was nobody in any of these MPD reports that said, I spoke to this guy, he was out hunting between the hours of such and such. There was nobody in the ISP documents that this matches up even. Or an Ian Harsh interview right there, that was a big scam, because he was doing interviews all over the place saying that, oh yeah, I got an interview here, I got an interview there, and I got a subpoena, and his name doesn't even appear on anybody's witness list. That guy is full of SO whatever. All right. So don't get me started on that. But that's, you start looking at the comparisons of Tyler Robinson accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk. Obviously, Charlie was a conservative activist who wanted to take him out. Don't know, right? That just happened last month, almost 30 days ago. And Robinson is now facing multiple charges, including aggravated murder, obstruction. Now, maybe he didn't do the murder, but maybe he is charged with obstruction. And this is where they get you. This is where our justice system gets you. They charge you with more than one crime. So then if they take one off, they can give you a plea deal on the other, or they won't dismiss anything, and you got to be guilty of something you didn't do to save face. So Tyler Robinson has not pleaded guilty. Sentencing comes in a few weeks, October the 30th. Now look at Bryan Kohberger. Accused, convicted, depending on how you look at it. He pled guilty on all 4 counts of murder and 1 count of burglary in November of 22, they say in a home invasion / stabbing spree. You know the press that he got. Everything that we know now was totally untrue. And we don't even know for sure if it was his DNA on the knife sheath. We don't know how the lab duplicated this DNA, touch DNA, and it grew in size. They don't know how that could be possible. And this was an extremely high profile case. That's what brought all of us together, thousands of us together, wondering all these little intricate pieces and parts of the puzzle in the Idaho 4. And then we looked at all the evidence, not much evidence against Bryan Kohberger, folks. The motions, the legal battles, the court proceedings, all those issues were not really publicized accurately. There were untruths or half-truths. I'll say half-truths. I'll give the media a little bit of credit there. They brought a lot of momentum with this case. But then you look, if Kohberger's case set the precedent in Robinson's motions. Now, this is some of the things that I've seen that overlap, and they are real. And what does it reveal to us, the general public that's watching these massive cases, high profile, be displayed everywhere? Well, Robinson's attorneys have explicitly cited Kohberger's case in a motion. Yes, folks, they cited Kohberger's case in a motion to allow him to wear civilian clothes in court rather than prison attire and restraints. So people are already using the Idaho 4 case to use it in other court cases because, folks, that's how the legal system works. If there is an existing case that can be used in another existing case or set precedents, attorneys will use it in new cases like this. And I'll give you an example. I was in a legal case. We won that case. Then there was another case that was from that case that we won also, back to back to back. And we just kept referencing the original case because there is something that you cannot be sued for, not only statute of limitations, but also because there are no facts and no evidence. And that is called legal abuse, folks. It exists. There is truly legal abuse. Can somebody be charged with legal abuse? Absolutely. Can you file in a civil court for legal abuse if you have somebody continually legally abusing you, using the court system as abuse? Absolutely. And what is that called? It is called chicanery. Yes. To use deception to achieve one's purpose, whether it be legalistic, political, whatever their goal is, it is illegal. And this we're seeing being used. The Kohberger case is being used now in the Robinson case. Their argument in the Robinson case is seeing the defendant in jail or prison clothes, right, shackles, whatever. It leads the jurors or the media towards guilt, especially in high visitable trials. Right? Court TV talked about this not just a little while ago. It's huge. Why? It paints the picture that somebody is guilty in the media before they even get to the court, because that is it is a play on constitutional violation of our constitutional rights. 100%. Listen.
Occurred near the library at UVU. They're trying to lock the library down now. Still gathering. The CS building is just east of the library. He's wearing jeans, black shirt, black mask, long rifle. We do have officers following the victim to Tiffin at the hospital. 418 copy. How many injured do we have? Just one person.
Let's talk about the man accused in the assassination of conservative political activist Charlie Kirk. So this guy is asking to appear in court while wearing civilian clothing. Defendant Tyler Robinson's attorneys are making an argument to the court that he needs to be changed from his jail garb in order to ensure that any prospective jurors who are watching his court appearances won't be tainted by seeing him shackled and dressed in his jail-issued jumpsuit. As you can see,
this video, when I saw it live, looks like they have a filter on this guy's face, just like the Kohberger courtroom case.
He's wearing here at his most recent appearance. Tyler Robinson's attorneys go on to say in their motion, quote, with each development in the case generating thousands of articles and comments online, the likelihood of potential jurors seeing and drawing conclusions regarding Mr. Robinson's guilt and/or deserved punishment from obvious signs of pretrial incarceration will only increase. The repeated and ubiquitous display of Mr. Robinson in jail garb, shackles, and a suicide vest will undoubtedly be viewed by prospective jurors and will inevitably lead to prospective juror perception that he's guilty and deserving of death. And the motion also references something interesting, references a highly publicized death penalty case in Ada County, Ohio, involving, can you guess? Bryan Kohberger.
She said Ohio, but she meant Idaho.
In that case, Kohberger's attorneys, they were successful, if you'll remember, in having him appear at his pretrial hearings wearing a suit. No.
But here's the difference, folks. Bryan Kohberger was a student professional getting his PhD in criminology. He was not some person that just walked off the street and did X, Y, and Z. They, the defense, wanted everyone to see that he was a professional.
Handcuffs. So should the same be done with Tyler Robinson in Utah? Let's talk about it. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Mario Gallucci. All right, Mario, what do you think?
So, Julie, it's not really a big ask. This is not your typical trial. This is a trial that, as the defense said, is going to be in the newspaper every day. It's garnering a lot of publicity. What they're asking for is a fair trial. And to perceive him dressed like he is there is not good. It's prejudicial. It obviously shows that he's incarcerated. If he's incarcerated, maybe he's dangerous, and that can affect the perception of the potential jury pool.
But wait a minute, they've charged him with murder. They say they have enough evidence to prove that he is the murderer. So why are they now asking him to be treated like a king, that you could wear regular clothes, because they don't want the jury to believe he's guilty, because I feel he is not?
Something that I've done in many cases. I've done it in New Jersey. I've done it in New York, where I've asked that they wear civilian clothing, and you give it to Department of Corrections or whatever you have in that state, and then they look through it, and then they provide it to them immediately before they walk into court, and then they take it from them after court. So I think it gets granted. I really do. There's no real reason not to do it.
That's interesting you say that, Mario, and you've had high-profile cases. So it's really not a major inconvenience from what you've experienced, right? It's really not a big ask, as you're saying, that this can be done pretty simply with not a lot of hassle.
Exactly. It's very easy. You bring the clothes, or you bring the clothes to corrections, and then they give it to him right before he walks out into the courtroom. He changes in a back cell, and then he takes them off and goes back to wherever they're housing him. So it's not very complicated. It's not a big ask. The bigger ask is that they're asking that his shackles be removed. That's something that is a much bigger do than just the clothes. So to remove the shackles from him, could cause a problem in a courtroom.
Yeah, because they think that this dude is Spider-Man, and they don't want him to not have shackles on, because he's going to ninja his way across the courtroom and walk on out of there just like he did, jumping off the building and parkaying into the grass and walking into the parking lot, and we never see him drive off. So their point is that Kohberger, in his high-profile case, was permitted, obviously, to wear a suit and without restraints during pretrial hearings, and that's what they want for Robinson. So part of Robinson versus Kohberger is all legal strategy. Robinson's team is actually leveraging what happened in Kohberger's proceedings to argue a fair treatment pretrial. Now, do you think that's fair for all the cases that are not high profile? Do you think that's fair? Do you think everyone should be in regular clothing, innocent until proven guilty? Do you think that everyone should get that, not just high profile cases? If you agree, say yes. Drop a yes in the chat. Hi, Caleb, I don't know why the chat is off for you. Maybe there's a delay. I know YouTube has been having problems for a few days. But do you think that everybody should be able to wear civilian clothing and not jail clothing in any trial? Because you are technically innocent until proven guilty. So even though you're in custody, should you be able to wear regular clothing? I do. I absolutely do. I think the jury should be able to see you in regular clothing and not shackles and garb. And if you are truly innocent, factually innocent, we haven't even seen the receipts yet. In the Bryan Kohberger case, there were no receipts. And that is why I feel that we can tell this is a cover-up psyop. It is not the real deal. I'm starting to think, in my own humble opinion, that more of these psyops are bigger to give us, like Luigi. Yeah, he wore his designer suit to court. That is a very good point, Lulu Bell. Absolutely. And Miss Jess, yeah, case law. Yeah, I know. I only used Court TV only because they talked about it. Fashionably late. Made it. You were too funny, Lisa. Welcome in, honey. And yeah, Spider-Man. I mean, is he going to whomp him in the courtroom and run out and break out a courtroom window and see you later, and hopefully he drops from 3 stories and lands on his feet? I don't think this guy is the guy, in my humble opinion. But for Robinson, the primary defense strategy, at least from all the filings, is to avoid the jurors before trial looking at how he's being presented. right? It's the image that they're trying to sway, the national headlines. If they see him in a suit and tie like Kohberger, or some type of civilian attire instead of jail attire, then it's going to give the perception, or does this person have special privileges or pull? Is he an informant? Is he a Fed? Is he a part of some task agency force? Is he indeed a cover? Is he the patsy? And why do they get special treatment? Like Kohberger was getting vegan meals in prison. In jail while he was awaiting prison. I've never heard of that. Is he still getting a prison vegan? Is he even in jail? My next stream will talk about some evidence, but after that, it's definitely going to be the many faces of Bryan Kohberger, and you're going to bullshit yourself when you see the whole pile of images I have combined. You're going to be like, damn, I missed this part. Well, what we don't know going forward is Robinson's case is still to be decided. They haven't even decided if they're going to allow the motion for civilian closed or remove restraints. We don't know all the evidence, like I just said. And Kohberger, depending on the latest filings and verdict, what they unseal, we're going to learn more if he'll ever do a post-conviction relief process. Yeah, Lisa, I really doubt that he was in jail. I really do. And I just got some information this morning in my inbox that now, let me see if I can share this. Now, today, there is a way to contact Bryan Kohberger, and they've moved it from JPay to now getting out. Getting out is usually for typically those who are getting out. So it says contact details, maximum security institution, IDOC. Now you have to go through this new getting out app in order to send him a message. Before it was JPay. Now they've changed it again. I mean, this is just really odd. Really odd. I doubt, in my humble opinion, the real Bryan Kohberger is not in jail. I highly doubt he is not in jail. I highly doubt it. So when you look at the two courtrooms, these are two courtroom giants of our time that we're watching in real play, real life. Tyler Robinson and Bryan Kohberger stand accused of America's most chilling criminal cases. One alleged target, a public figure, Charlie Kirk. The other 4 unsuspecting, innocent, off-campus college students in the early wee morning. Yet beneath the headline lies a shared story of media influence, courtroom control for sure, and the fight for a fair trial in the age of public judgment. We, the people, public judgment. We have the freedom of speech. Both defense teams invoke precedent, image, and now the perception of court. They are using each other's cases to shape legal strategy. This is across the U.S., folks. This isn't just in Idaho and Utah. Where does the truth end, the narrative begin, and when does justice play out under the world spotlight? Where does justice come in? Yeah, that's right. 23 hours in pure isolation and 1 hour unseen by any other inmate. None. What is so special about him that he gets to not be in general population when any other murderer is in general population? What makes Kohberger so special? He gets to be isolated, vegan meals, and a tablet, a TV, computer, whatever. What makes him so special? I think, in my humble opinion, he's an informant or a Fed. Join me in my next stream. Make sure, and that's all I ask of you, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you share this with at least one person today. You all just ate up my busted video. And if you haven't seen that, I'm going to play it on the way out for you. And make sure that you drop and leave some love. Let me grab it real quick. And let's watch it. as soon as I find it. How's that? Oh, thank God. It is freaking Friday. I hope you guys have some fun. Spend time with your family. I love this song. As soon as this video is done playing, I'm going to head out, and I'll see you back here at 3:45 today with more Idaho 4 exclusive content. Let me grab this up on the screen. Whoop, whoop. Here we go. Get ready, y'all. Let me make myself smaller. I love this song. I made this song, by the way. I just have to tap myself on the back.
Woke up this morning in a potato state where the spuds are king, it's feeling great. Try to bake a pie, but I got the gist. Idaho busted like a can of biscuits.
I'm curious as to where you think or believe the murder weapon is, where you think or believe the clothes Kohberger was wearing that night are, and how do you think he avoided forensics?
Well, I can just tell you, and forgive us if we go back and forth, it's just kind of how we roll. But there is no evidence that we found that would lead us to any specific, even general location as to where the murder weapon or the clothes have been. And we searched. I mean, the FBI, again, to their credit, we had folks doing soil samples and so all sorts of things to try to come up with somewhere to start searching for these things, and we just never found it. As far as the forensics piece, I'll let Darren speak to
Yeah,
that.
and on the weapon, it wasn't a lack of trying. You know, everywhere that we had evidence of where he went, based upon phone records, based upon the evidence that we had gathered, we searched that. We went there. We did searches on the ground, in the water. We did searches. We sent soil samples to try to figure out maybe where a shovel had been used. So we searched everywhere that we possibly could, but the reality is we're looking for a singular small, it's not that small, but cave bar knife, and that's it. So it's in this of where it could have been, and we just were not able to find it. So.
Well, just how small of a knife were you looking for? Because when you processed the scene, you found a steak knife. You know this steak knife?
Where at? Up here? Up here, up here. You got it all that someone, really looking normal. I just came to check in here and this is what I just found. And I checked this into his rear, and I didn't check him yet, but I'm pretty sure. 13. Okay, get back. I don't know if we're still in here or not. Really just in here. I grabbed the knife. They're like 1370. Okay, stay back there, please. Okay, stay back there, please.
So you mean to tell me he didn't have it in his hands? That knife was concealed and it magically appeared on the table. But thank goodness they logged it in on November 14th, 2022. But get this, 2 days later, they go back and they find a Kershaw knife. Whose knife was that? And where did they find it? Now, whose Kershaw knife was this actually? And it was so important you had to go back to 1122 King Road on the 16th and put it into evidence. Now, I do know that Kershaw is out of Portland, Oregon. They do have a manufacturing plant and a lot of sporting hunters, and they even have kitchen knives. But you labeled it a Kershaw knife, and there are fixed blade Kershaw knives. So many different models to choose from. Whose knife was that?
Our knife, and that's it. So it's in this of where it could have been, and we just were not able to find it. So
Idaho, Have you hoodwinked us? Drop your thoughts. Make sure you like and subscribe. Be well.